Hello my friends and welcome to another Tears of the Kingdom video for you guys here on the channel. Today I'm going to be going through how to get heart containers and stamina vessels similar to Breath of the Wild. We're going to be talking about, I guess, some mild spoilers, so obviously be wary of that. Nothing major with regards to the story or anything like that, so if you're fine with that, we're going to proceed. You've been warned. Alright, first things first, it pretty much works very similarly to Breath of the Wild. So in Breath of the Wild, you would have to complete shrines. They were called Sheikah Shrines in Breath of the Wild. In Tears of the Kingdom, they are no longer Sheikah Shrines, but there are shrines, and they're called Zonai Shrines. Now, just like with the Sheikah Shrines in Breath of the Wild, every single shrine is basically kind of like a little mini dungeon, a puzzle, a bunch of puzzles you got to kind of figure out to get to the end. And once you get to the end, you're going to get a blessing, essentially, a light blessing, right? So again, very similar to kind of like the goddess orbs or whatever they're called. I can't remember right off the top of my head in Breath of the Wild. And so in terms of the shrines, what you can encounter, there's a couple different things I do want to note about the shrines, because this is kind of like a 3-in-1 video. We're talking about the stamina vessels, the heart containers, and the shrines. So the shrines themselves, most of them you'll just see kind of around the world, right? And it's basically kind of like this sort of egg-looking structure with a green swirly thing above it. So if you see those are going to be the Zonai Shrines, and you're just going to go ahead and interact with them. As soon as you interact with them, it's going to unlock them as a fast travel. So even if you don't complete the shrine, you're going to have a fast travel location ready for you guys right there, which could be very useful. Because again, if you're struggling, you could always come back later on. And again, it just acts as an extra fast travel point across the world. Now, moving on from that, when you do enter these shrines, it could be a variety of different things. So with the Sheikah Shrines, Breath of the Wild, some of them that you would do, they were kind of like these trials where you would kind of do combat trials. They almost acted like tutorials to kind of better your combat abilities. So you're going to encounter similar things like that. There's also going to be some times where they're going to just strip you of all of your equipment, all of your armor, all of your weapons, and give you kind of some random weapons and stuff in the beginning of the shrine, just for the duration of the shrine. Of course, when you leave it, you're going to get all your stuff back, and that's going to be a different kind of trial as well. Some of them, again, is going to be figuring out how to use your abilities. They're the brand new Zonai abilities, which we've seen, of course, throughout the trailers, different things like that. Now we are getting hands-on, such as Ultra Hand and Fuse, Ascend, excuse me, so on and so forth, Recall. So make sure you guys keep that in mind, utilize those. Is again very similar to the Sheikah Shrines, and you're going to see that in the very beginning of the game, it's going to force you to do a few anyways. Again, very similar to Breath of the Wild, so you're going to have to get accustomed to them and all that good stuff. Now, there's some that actually appear very specifically. You're going to be able to find these certain places. Typically, I've found them in the Sky Island. I don't know if there's any other locations on the main ground, but you'll find kind of like these gates that you're going to interact with, and you should be able to see some gameplay of that up on screen as well. And whenever you see one of those, you're going to see these green rings, and you're going to have to, basically, it's like a time trial. You're going to have to go through these rings as fast as you can, and if you make to the end of this time trial successfully, then a new shrine is going to appear out of nowhere. Furthermore, as the shrine appears, you can see kind of like this little green kind of orb looking thing that grows into the shrine. I've also encountered some conflux kind of enemies, if you will. They're kind of like Zonai conflux enemies in the Sky Island areas. Sometimes you'll see them. Again, I'll try to throw up a little bit of gameplay of that up on screen so you guys can see what I'm talking about. When you beat those, they drop one of those kind of green orbs, and it points into the direction of where there's a secret shrine awaiting you. So there's a variety of different ways to unlock these shrines. So now that we've talked about the variety of different kind of shrines you're going to encounter, again, I'm not sure the exact amount at the time of recording that is going to be in the world. I'm hearing there's roughly over 100 again. There was 120 Sheikah Shrines in the original Breath of the Wild, so maybe there's another 120 again. Whenever we get to complete all 120 or 130 or 140, whatever the number is, whenever we get to complete them all, I'll try to bring you guys another video showing what you get if there's any special reward at the end of this. But each shrine gives you one of these light blessings. Now you need 4 of these, okay? Just like Breath of the Wild, you need 4 of these, and there's these goddess statues scattered across the land. Again, very similar to Breath of the Wild. If you remember the locations of them from Breath of the Wild, chances are they're most likely still there. I haven't checked, obviously, if they're all still there, but I did check if there's if there was the one in Kakariko, and that's the one we're we're going to go to right now. So in Kakariko Village, there is one of those goddess statues, if you remember it from Breath of the Wild. If you didn't play Breath of the Wild, well, this is an easy one to kind of find. Again, they're scattered across the place. You're going to encounter one in the sky area at the very beginning of the game anyways, so that's kind of a sure bet. You can just kind of, you know, fast travel up there and go to that one, worst comes to worst. But anyways, you're gonna walk up to them, and when you walk up to them with 4 of these light blessings, it's gonna ask you if you want to exchange it for either heart container or a stamina vessel. Now a heart container is gonna give you, as it says, an extra heart container. You start the game with 3, eventually you're gonna get a 4th one before you get to the ground. I'm not gonna spoil how. And then, you know, if you want to increase it beyond that, you need to get these orbs and increase it like that. The stamina vessel is going to basically increase your stamina wheel by 25%. So it's going to give you an extra quarter of stamina every single vessel that you obtain. And this could be very useful because obviously there's a lot of climbing, there's a lot of gliding, different things like that. And with more stamina, you can climb further, you can glide further, and it's just very helpful, very useful. So you got to kind of pick and choose what you think is going to be most useful for you. I would start off with, you know, once you get your 4th heart container, get at least another, you know, stamina vessel, at least one more, and then after that, you know, you just kind of figure out what you need best. So hopefully this helped you guys out understand, you know, everything about the shrines, everything about, you know, getting heart containers and stamina vessels to increase your heart count and your stamina and all that good stuff. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comment section below, but I do hope this video helped you guys out. If it did, be sure to leave a like, really helps the channel. If it didn't, that's completely fine as well. I hope to see you guys soon in the next one, and until then, my friends, game on and enjoy your playthrough of Tears of the Kingdom.